First, it was the challenge of selecting a standard bearer for the 2023 presidential polls. Once that hurdle was crossed, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged as winner of the People's Democratic Party presidential primaries and would eventually become the man on whose shoulders the PDP will look up to make a return to power. But as the saying goes, a tree does not make a forest. With the primaries done and dusted, the next port of call was selecting a running mate. And this prompted the party to set up a screening committee. There were widespread speculations from both within and outside the party, particularly on social media, as to whom the choice would be. But after critical dialogue, like a flash bomb, voila, the announcement was made.
Who has demonstrated in his state and through his conduct that governance is about service to the people. Please join me in welcoming to the ticket the next Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Governor Ifeanyi Arthur Okowa.
I accept wholeheartedly, and in accepting so, I want to pledge that I'm going to stay loyal and committed to the course of this battle.
Contrary to all the speculations in the social media, the National Working Committee or the party didn't select one name for the candidate.
While this announcement may come as a shock to some, to others, like the PDP Governors Forum, they have thrown their weight of support behind Atiku and Okowa. But with this announcement made, questions regarding popularity and compatibility, as well as party ideals, are some of what will make our talking points on the program today, as we discuss the PDP presidential candidate and his choice of Ifeanyi Okowa as a running mate. I am Lydia Otijochi. Welcome to the program. Now let's get to meet my guests. With me in the studio is none other than the former governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency Buni Haruna. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Also joining us is a PDP chieftain, Idris Ibrahim Kalgo. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let me begin with His Excellency. The choice of the presidential running mate is out now. What can you say was the factor behind this choice?
Well, thank you. If you listen to our candidate, former Vice President Atiku, he gave the reasons for his choice of Governor Okowa. We all know that Okowa is a founding member of PDP. Okay. And if you look at his political mobility, if you like, from secretary to local government, to chairman of local government, to member of State Executive Council, former commissioner who served in 4 or so ministries, to secretary to government, to senator, and to governor now in his second term. There couldn't have been a better choice than that. And I can tell you that in this country, in the political space we have today, you are not likely to find the type of Okowa in numbers. You are not likely. Somebody who, you know, by virtue of even his academic accomplishment, started as a local government secretary and rose to become the governor of his state within this period of our democratic rebirth since 1999 is something that is a standard of reference and should be really promoted.
All right.
Yeah.
Now let me come to you, Kalgo. What will you add to what His Excellency just said? How would you describe the man Okowa and him being a choice as running mate?
Thank you very much. As our principal said, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was here in Adamawa. He made a very strong decision, and a very good one for that matter. Okowa is a grassroots politician, and that's what we are looking for. He's a kind of man, when you talk about loyalty, you can say it's Okowa. When you talk about credibility, you can say it's Okowa. When you talk about man of the people, it's Okowa.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, let me ask you, Your Excellency, political speaking, do you see any implications of this choice for the party?
Well, there is no political decision that is that may not have its fallouts, whether positive or negative. But before you take a decision, you must have looked at the various options and the political capital that you will harvest from such decision. I personally, we don't have any fears as to our choice of Governor Okowa for the position of Vice President. He has paid his dues in terms of his participation in politics, his role in deepening democracy in this country, and in particular in his state. He has grown to this level, not because coming to this level is through electoral process. Apart from the appointments he went through as commissioner and maybe secretary to local government, every other position Governor Okowa held in this country was by election, people's mandate. And if he was not acceptable, if he had not invested in what he became through the ballot, he wouldn't have been where he is today. So for us, Vice President Atiku's judgment or decision to pick Okowa as his Vice President is going to give us a lot of mileage in terms of what we expect out of it. And so we have no problem with that, and as in the fullest of time, we will see the benefits.
Okay. Now let me come to you, Kalgo. Before the announcement, news on the social media, in fact the social media was rife that it would be someone else. So, what, aside what we had said earlier, was there any form of inducement to the choice made? Though we had the chairman said the National Working Committee didn't select one name for the candidate.
You know, I normally define PDP as Nigerians. PDP is a party that if there's such kind of decisions to make, they come up as one family to see how we can come up with a better solution. The National Working Committee, it's on its own side. That's why the PDP had to create a committee to select one of the candidates. All the options were very good options. And that's why Atiku said it's a tough one for him to choose among them. As my mentor said, for someone who has been a secretary to the local government, become a chairman, SSG, senator, then two-time governor, I think for me it's one of the best options that Nigerians at this point are looking for, because His Excellency Atiku Abubakar and Nigerians as well are hoping to see the best out of the best. So Okowa emerged, and you can see the social media and everybody's happy about it.
All right.
And there's no
going back.
The PDP is one family and everybody's happy about it.
Okay. Now, Your Excellency, within the party now, what is the atmosphere of acceptance for this choice made by Atiku? And then are there people who are aggrieved within the party? And if so, will this affect the party's ambition in 2023?
Well, generally, there is in a party like our own, or in any setting, where there are competing interests. A decision may not be acceptable to all.
Oh.
It's natural. But on the average, you know, the party is happy. Everybody relatively, this was what we were all expecting. The fact that an announcement has been made, somebody has been chosen, has brought a lot of tension down. The party is looking forward to active campaign. And yes, some may not be happy, it's expected. And as I've said, there are competing interests. Even in a family, there are competing interests. You know, it may not be the same all the time. But I can assure you that this party, our party, were on course. The choice of Okowa, if anything, will actually help in bringing about unity in the party. You know, his colleagues are fully behind him. Yes, he was picked out of 3, and all of them were eminently qualified, and all of them cannot be vice president. One has to be. These are matured Nigerians. These are leaders in their own right, and I personally know them. I know them. Their supporters naturally will expect them to make it. But as I've said, all of them cannot be vice president at the same time. So I'm sure they are philosophical about it. They have taken it in their good strides. One of them was even around when Governor Okowa was announced to the world. And so it gives you, there's unity of purpose amongst them, you know. So naturally, there will be some misgivings, but in certain quarters, but on the whole, the party is happy. Yes, we are ready for.
All right, let's hear your own view on that issue too. Especially now, you seem to represent the youths now. Let's talk about the acceptability of this choice amongst the youths in the party.
Well, we are very happy about it.
Okay.
But, even this afternoon, I met with about almost 16 group,
Okay.
PDP groups who are really in support of all this. And then if you look at the youths about controlling the social media, like 90% of it. And then if you look around, you see that we have a very positive response about speaking Okowa. We are happy about it, and the most important thing is for them to win, and then for them to deliver, because there's so much hope in the PDP in Nigeria now, and we, the youths, are really in support of this, and we're so happy about it.
All right.
Thank you.
That's nice. Now let's go on a break. Now we'll be back to talk some more.
This is NTA News 24 broadcasting from Abuja. You can watch us anywhere, anytime on the following platforms.
Start Times Channel 101, Freak TV Channel 703, GSTV Channel 419, and Go TV Channel 46.
For more information, log on to our website www.nta.ng or join us on our social media handles, Facebook at NTA News 24.
For comments, suggestions and inquiries, send an email to news24@nta.gov.ng or call us on the following numbers.
NTA News 24.
News and more news.
Welcome back. The program is Nigeria Today, and we are discussing choice of running mate, Atiku and Okowa. And my guests are still with me, former governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency Boni Haruna, and also a PDP chieftain, Idris Ibrahim Kalgo. Now, Your Excellency, there has been actually the question of popularity, both among party members and the electorate. And the question is, does Okowa complement Atiku in terms of popularity among the electorate?
Well, He does. Because what you say of one's popularity is actually relative. Depends on how you see the person. But Okowa, as the governor of Delta for 8 good years, you cannot say he is not popular. In his state, he's not popular in Nigeria. Within the party, Okowa has played a role at various levels of the party process. He headed the convention of the party in 2019 or 18 in Port Harcourt. He has played various roles. So within the party, you cannot say Okowa is not popular.
Okay.
And given his service in his state, you know, he has proved himself as a leader that has been able to pull his people together. He is, in his own right, a unifier in his own state.
Okay.
Because the level of diversity in Delta, you know, he has been able to strike a balance among the various social forces, the ethnic nationalities, and we've seen him winning his state for the PDP in 2019, you know. So as far as PDP is concerned, within its own fold, Okowa is very popular. He's a politician that will effectively complement Vice President Atiku. And don't forget, I keep on saying that if you look at the leaders in this party today at the level of Okowa, you will hardly find somebody that has grown up to the ladder like him. Somebody who started even as a medical doctor, as secretary to his local government, somebody who has started, climbed the ladder of chairman of his local government. It tells you his level of acceptability and as a grassroots politician. And at the national level, he has paid his dues, you know. So for us, he complements Atiku's ticket for the presidency of this nation. And I'm sure as time goes on, people will begin to know better who Okowa is.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let me come to you, Kalgo. Will Atiku's choice of picking Okowa gain more support, particularly from the southern part of the country?
Not only from the southern, but the entire country.
Okay.
Okowa, let me quote, is not like how one of the sitting senators described one of their candidates as someone who's unpopular. That even if you call his name in places like a number, the normal simple man from there will be thinking like it's just somebody who's supplying tomato or onions from the north. And Okowa, go to the north, Kebbi, Kano, Sokoto, Bauchi, Taraba. If you just put the word Okowa, I'm sure 9 out of 10 will complete the name for you. So it's very much popular, and then our even target is not only his zone, but the entire country is going to get that votes from all across the 6 political zones. Yes.
Okay, now, Your Excellency. Judge, okay, you want to add? Okay.
Shortly after he was presented to the public by our presidential candidate, and his name, Okowa, you know, I don't know what it means in Igbo, but in the northern part of the country, they said Okowa Nakowa. Yes, Okowa is for everybody. So you can see that the name it's catchy. It's so magnetic, and it has gone viral.
Okay.
Okowa Nakowa, you know, Okowa is for everybody.
Wow.
So it's already sinking into the consciousness of Nigerians.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, now, judging from his exploits and achievements as a governor, do you think Okowa can pull his weight and replicate his form as a governor when or if he becomes vice president?
Definitely, because I know the person Okowa is going to work with.
Okay.
He's going to work with Vice President Atiku, and he made it very clear in his speech that he is picking somebody who is going to take over from him. So I see Okowa playing the role of a vice president that will be very effective, because I don't think Vice President Atiku is going to leave him as a spare tire. He will be very much involved in the decision-making process and the execution of the programs of the government under the leadership of Vice President Atiku. The problem most times with number two citizens, whether at national level or at the state level, is lack of support by their principals. Once he gets that support, and I strongly believe Atiku, Vice President Atiku, who was himself a former vice president and who is not new or wouldn't be new to the game, will be able to support his vice president to replicate what Governor Okowa has done in his state and will continue to do. You know, so I have no problem about that because of the person that he's going to work with. Yes.
Okay. Now, Kalgo, I can see you already have a cap and the campaign is on. Yes. The announcement is out now. What is next?
What is next is for everybody to come together as one people, one country, one future. Now we have the unifier. Somebody who's going to unite us. Somebody who's coming to fix problems. He knows what he's coming to meet in office. If eventually, and we are praying, inshallah, it's going to be our next president. And we, the entire Nigerians, and let me put it to youth, we are going to work with him hand in hand to see that he achieved that, because he made a promise to us. He said that 40% of his cabinet are going to be youths. This is a promise. Even in national TV, he said it. And we know who Atiku is. If he said something, he would do it. And just like what Excellency said, that he's bringing in Okowa, somebody is going to groom to take over power. And Atiku Abubakar, he's one man that I see who truly defined Nigeria. With him, you can see an Igbo man, you can see an Hausa man, you can see a Yoruba man, you can see a Fulani man, you can see a TV man, you can see a Ibra man, all sorts of, this is all together in one person. So we are ready, and then I'm urging for everybody who does not have a PVC to rush, go and get his he so have PVC so that we can vote for the unifier Atiku.
Okay, okay. Your Excellency, what will be your closing thoughts to this conversation? What should Nigerians expect if they win?
Well, Nigerians should expect a new dawn from Vice President Atiku. He has prepared himself for this job, and he is in a new deal and will be in a new deal with Nigerians. So I want to appeal to all of us, all Nigerians, to give Vice President Atiku this opportunity to lead this nation to the level that we all desire. You know, economic boom, prosperity, and sustainable security.
Thank you so much. Well, that's it on Nigeria Today. It's been a very interesting conversation, and my guests have been the former governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency Buni Haruna. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we've also been talking with Idris Ibrahim Kalgo, PDP chieftain. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
And we also want to thank our viewers who've been listening to this conversation on the choice of presidential running mate on the flagship of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. You can watch this and other episodes at www.youtube.com/NTNews24hub. I am Lydia Odijochi. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.